All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about something huge, something that affects every single one of us who's ever posted a photo, sent a message, or, created anything online. We're talking about your digital legacy. So let me just ask you this straight up. What happens to your online life after you're gone? I mean, really think about it. Your emails, your photos, your entire social media history, your whole digital footprint. Where does it all go? Who's in control? Does it just poof, vanish into thin air? To figure that out, we need to get to know the character at the center of this whole story. And that brings us to Section 1, your digital ghost. This is the version of you that, well, lives on in all the data you leave behind. And this idea is way, way bigger than you might think. Your digital ghost isn't just your public profile. No, it's the sum of everything. We're talking private messages, your weird search history, creative projects, even the photos you took but never shared. It is the complete, unfiltered, digital you. For decades, we really didn't think twice about any of this, did we? We were all living in what the source material calls the age of corporate memory. We basically just handed over our digital ghosts, our memories, our lives, everything to these massive tech platforms, trusting them to be the guardians of our personal history. But here's the thing. Relying on corporations like that created a huge, huge vulnerability. And that leads us to this pivotal moment in our story, the Great Deletion. It all started when a new law was passed called the Posthumous Privacy Mandate. And look, the goal was noble, right? It was meant to protect people after they died, to stop their data from being mined or exploited. It granted everyone a right to be forgotten by making it a legal requirement for platforms to permanently erase all of a user's data upon their death. Sounds good, right? What could possibly go wrong? Well, this is exactly where it all went so wrong. You can see the chain reaction right here. First, we're in the age of corporate memory, where these platforms hold everything. Then the mandate passes, forcing them to delete it all. And the result? An absolutely catastrophic, unforeseen consequence. The source calls it exactly what it was, the destruction of a generation's history. Just think about that. All those memories, all that creativity, all those personal stories we had entrusted to corporate servers, they were suddenly just ephemeral, wiped clean. An entire generation's digital soul gone in an instant. So what do you do when you're faced with a digital apocalypse? Well, society didn't just accept it. People innovated. They created a way to take back control, and they called it the Sovereign Archive. They created the Sovereign Digital Archive, or the SDA, and this was a total game changer. Instead of your life story living on some company's server, your archive is a privately held, encrypted, and offline collection of your digital life. But here's the most important part. It's designed to be passed down, just like a family photo album or a will. So how does it work? It's a very deliberate process. First, you actively curate what you want to save from your digital footprint. You're the editor of your own story. Then you encrypt it for total privacy. After that, it's bound to what's called a cryptographic digital will, which makes it legally binding. And just like that, your digital life becomes heritable property, something you own totally outside the reach of that deletion mandate. And the difference is just profound. With the old corporate cloud, your control was limited, its permanence was temporary at best, and you couldn't pass any of it down. But with a sovereign digital archive, you have total control. It's designed to be lasting, and its heritability is guaranteed. It's a fundamental shift from renting your digital space to actually owning it. But this solution didn't just solve a data problem. It did something much bigger. It created something entirely new. It gave birth to the art of remembering. Out of this, a whole new cultural ritual was born: self-curation. See, building your archive wasn't something you did just at the end of your life. It became a conscious, lifelong process of deciding who you were, what truly mattered to you, and how you wanted to be remembered. And this, right here, this is the ultimate takeaway. It's kind of ironic, right? The mandate, a law designed to erase us, actually forced us to take sovereign control over our own memory. As the source says, being remembered is no longer a passive thing. It is now an active and carefully authored final statement of a life. You become the author of your own legacy. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If you had to start building your own sovereign digital archive right now, today, what would you put inside? What photos, what messages, what creations and memories truly define your digital ghost? What would be your final statement?